foreign direct investments, economic condition, product ideas.
Okay.
Next slide. Our host country is Nigeria. Assignment for Project 1 and class session 2026 Block 4. Each team members took the following sections. Chisom Madu, which is me, the introduction. Oscar Barasat, section 3 and 5, communication and scheduling, culture, government and politics. Ugochukwu Augustine Weze, section 4 and 7, negotiation style and strategies, business population environment. Altagracia Daniela Perez, section 8 and 12, import tariff and trade agreements, import tariff and free trade agreements, product ideas, and Yadhira Virginia, section 9 and 10, foreign direct investments, current economic conditions.
Well, communication and scheduling culture, Nigeria relationship-oriented style versus the United States direct linear time approach. In this part, we had 3 dimensions whereby they were categorized in 3 phases. We have the communication, evaluating, and disagreeing. In the communication high content, in the Nigerian part, there's high content in terms of the communication. In the United States, there's lower context. While evaluating indirect negative feedback in Nigeria, and direct negative feedback, and disagreeing is moderate and non-confrontation and more confrontation. Scheduling, flexible time orientation from Nigeria part and linear time orientation. So going very fast in terms of communication. When it comes to business, I understand that the high context of communication comes with the labor force of Nigeria, with the manpower they have. It's easy to diverse because Nigeria as a country is a country with over 200 million people. Over 78% of them are young people and very energetic and very prolific in terms of the social media outlets. When it comes to the United States, the communication might be low because the internet maybe is not something new to them. And now they are more diverse in building AI and powered AI. When it comes to evaluating, indirect negative feedback from Nigeria will come maybe also from the same manpower. There is an issue with, just like any other African country, Nigeria is in a small pace of manpower trying to schedule with the business. What do I mean by this? In terms of capital investment building, Nigeria has the best evaluation in terms of injecting the manpower and also injecting the intelligence. But when it comes now to put it direct in a way whereby it's going to matriculate to building the economic power within the Nigeria's periphery, it becomes not easily accessible. But direct negative feedback in the United States is easy because with that, the companies there have already known what they're doing. Disagreeing and moderate non-confrontation and more confrontation. For me here, I really looked into it and I tried to understand what it was by that time. But I took it as a person of the aggressiveness in terms of approaching the market and approaching the industry in terms of investment. In terms of investment, if you look at Nigeria, I can promise you that it looks the same as in Kenya. We dilly-dally with in terms of computation of investment. We take time to invest in anything. We want to see the results rather than objecting that the results will be good. And that's how it's very different with an American. American will take more risk in terms of computation of investment or capital investment or building equity in terms of that. Scheduling and flexible time orientation and linear time orientation. Well, here also is a matter of high communication that trickle down to flexibility in terms of organizing your schedules. I agree that at the same time, also in the United States, it's just the same thing. It's all about the scheduling. Thank you. 6th state and federal capital territory. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu all aggressive Congress took on after the closely contested 2023 election upheld by the Supreme Court. His administration removed the long-standing fuel subsidies and liberalized the foreign exchange market, reform aimed in the fiscal sustainability but have the raised inflation transport cost and squeezed the household purchasing power in short term. Security insurgency as banditry, kidnapping, and communal conflict persist in the past northern Nigeria, raising operational risk and insurance cost and supply chain, exposing the farms in affected region. Opportunities, large consumer market, abundant natural resources, expanding middle classes, fasting growth digital marketing, regulating risk of to manage, regulatory and policy shift, bureaucracy process, and extended rate of volatility, and infrastructure deficiency. To explain this is that what His Excellency Bola Tinubu did gave chances to other investors to build a capacity which was so big. If you look like right now, Nigeria has one of the largest oil refineries, thanks to the group of Aliko Dangote, which is going to be extended also in East Africa through the Lamu expansion in Kenya. This brought the market, and right now Aliko Dangote is the leading supplier of fluid diesel in Europe. That means this is what, after a very curious and a very well thought of His Excellency, Mr. Tinubu. And also apart from that is that this has also helped Nigeria to become at the map in terms of the OPEC. Nigeria right now can continue to produce its fuel even with markets like United States and other markets abroad. So this was a very good move, and I think this will build Nigeria for the future, and hopefully it also create employment in the near future. Thank you.
And trust. Bargaining is expected. Initial offers are often set well above or below the final price. Never accept first offer. Negotiate respectfully and expect the process to take time. Senior level decisions. Final decisions are typically made by senior executive after internal consultation, so patience throughout the process is essential. Winning strategy, listen carefully, stay respectful, avoid aggressive tactics, verify information, and document every agreement in writing while continuing to invest in the relationship after the deal closes.
Agreement requirements, which is that each member of the WTO should apply the same trade equally to all trading partners, with no special favors to other countries, and also with limited exceptions, such as the free trade areas that Nigeria is registered with other countries, or preferences for developing nations. We have recently discovered that Nigeria has created a new fiscal policy that we need to take into consideration when trying to import new products to the country. This new fiscal policy prohibits around 70 products categories, which includes poultry, cement, and fertilizers, to support domestic production alongside a new adjustment task on 190 plus tariff lines. So we can see here in this graphic, the simple average MFN applied tariff in 2024 for different type of products in Nigeria. For plastic, we see that there's about 4%. For vehicles, that there's a 6%, electrical equipment 6%, machinery 11%, mineral fuels 38%, and all other products, there's an average of 12%. We need to see this as a target when trying to introduce new products to the country, because those are the products that they apply less tariffs. So in terms of the free trade agreements that we can encounter within Nigeria, we have chosen three of them, which is the AFTA from the 2020. This one cuts tariff on 90% of goods traded across Africa. Nigeria now chairs the AFTA Council. We have also the ECOWAS, which is the ETLS 99 from 1990. Regional Trade Liberalization Scheme, eliminating barriers across West Africa. And we have also Abuja Treaty from 1991, framework for a unified Africa Economic Community built on existing regional blocks. Trade recommendations is that import only goods with an MFN tariff below 10%. Those are the recommendations to start importing to the country. Prioritize categories the government favors, like medical supplies, industrial machinery, and alternative energy systems. We should also leverage AFCA and ECOWAS terms already in place for similar logistic and lower duties. And last but not least, we should avoid the 17 prohibited import categories and monitor the import adjustment task list. So basically, this is what we need to do when we are trying to import products to Nigeria. We should be aware of the free trade agreements, and we should also be aware of the MFN tariff. So right now I can go ahead and move to the next one, which is going to be covered by Jadira.
Okay, thank you. So in this section, let me begin with the investments environment in Nigeria. The country offers very attractive incentives for foreign direct investments. For example, pioneer industries such as manufacturing, agribusiness, energy, and technology. It's really good because can receive up to 5 years of corporate tax exemptions. And agriculture benefits from tariff reductions and VAT exemptions too. Manufacturing allows deductions for reinvested profits, and energy and mining enjoy accelerate depreciations. Another advantage in Nigeria is that investors, because are warranted the repatriation of capital and dividends through the electronic capital import certificate. Foreign ownership is permitted up to 100%, because in most sectors, except for sensitive industries like weapons or narcotics. However, all foreign companies must be incorporated locally under Nigeria's corporate law, and there is a minimum capital requirement of 100 million naira. This makes building a factory or subsidiary viable, but it requires strict compliance with regulations too. Okay, in this section, the current economic conditions. Okay, in this graphic, now looking at Nigeria's economic conditions. GDP has been stable at around 4% in recent years, which is attractive for mass consumer goods. GDP per capita is close to $10,000 in purchasing power parity, showing limited but growing consumer potential, right? The main challenge is inflation. In 2022 and 2023, inflation was extremely high, above 30%, but it has recently declined to 16% in 2026, in this year. Interest rates remain elevated at around 26%, which makes local financing expensive and favors investments with equity capital. Overall, the economy shows growth potential, but investors must plan carefully to manage costs and risk. Oh,
the three product recommendations that we are going to be introducing to the country, and in terms of the needs that we are going to be covering, the competitive advantage that we're going to be having, and the cultural considerations that we are going to take, that we need to understand and to study to make sure that those are covered once the product is in the country. So the first one is the hybrid mini freezer, which is a compact dual power cold storage built for erratic power. The need that we're going to cover is the hybrid tariffs, costly generator fuel, and food wastage, push household to buy in bulk to beat inflation, while grid on reliability threatens that investment. The existing competitors that we can encounter are Colbox, Hara Thermocool, Scanfrost, and Sunfrest. And the competitive advantage is that it's going to be a hybrid grid solar lithium backup system with thick insulation, keeps food frozen up to 48 hours with no power, an investment that cuts bill, not a liability, for a kiosk owners, students, and urban households. And the cultural consideration is that 2026 consumer spending favors energy savings, solar-linked appliance, so a low-energy hybrid freezer reads a smart and thrifty rather than indulgent, easing adoption. The next one is going to be an eco-friendly interior wall paint, which is affordable, low-emission paint for middle-income households. Homeowners want durable, attractive paint, but importer brands are priced out of reach for many middle-income Nigerian families seeking quality without the premium cost. The competitors are Dulux Paints, Berger Paints, Mayer Paints, and the competitive pricing plus free color consultation, custom mixing, and a strong service, backed by genuinely low odor, low chemical formula that sets it apart until rival catch up. The cultural consideration will be that Nigeria's many ethnic groups, language, and religions call for culturally respectful marketing and regional color sensitive, and word of mouth from family and local dealer drives through. The last one is gonna be portable solar cooker, which is clean, fuel-free, cooling without smoke or the deforestation. We're gonna meet that many families still cook with charcoal or firewoods, causing smoke-related health problems and deforestation. A clean, economical alternative is needed for everyday cooking. The competitors are Wise Eco Stove Nigeria, Power Stone, Tigra Energy. The competitive advantage will be a competent, affordable design sold through local markets and supermarkets with flexible payment plans, and mass accessibility that's hard to replace quickly given the local adoption it requires. Strong reference for traditional cooking and doubt that solar cooked food states different calls that the community demonstration framing the stove as an investment in family well-being. Okay, so basically those are the products that we're gonna be presenting for Nigeria, and that are gonna be covering different areas of needs that the country is currently facing right now. We are so glad for the opportunity to let you know the economic situation of Nigeria, and also how we can cover different those needs with those products. I hope that this presentation has been successful enough, and for you to evaluate and for you to see if this has been a great project at the end. I don't know if you